Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time today. The goal, as always, is you will walk away with nuggets you can use to elevate your practice, right? Especially the balance of 2025. We know from a life insurance standpoint, from annuity sales, that things are up. In fact, annuities are hotter than ever. It's been a record-breaking year. So you picked the right industry, okay? And you picked the right IMO because as an IMO, it's our job to bring you the best trainings, platforms, carriers, products, compensation, renewals, all of the above, okay? And I think we do a great job with that. In fact, if we drop the ball somewhere, if something didn't go just perfect, me and Kerry, my father, are here to jump in and try to make it right. So always shoot us an email or call us anytime if you feel something wasn't handled properly with us or one of our carriers. I just wanted to lay that out there. And then what I want to do next is talk about today's presentation. So what we're going to do today, and if you just think about this for a second, right? And you have this 200-foot overview, if you will, is, we have to put our agent hat on, right? And we don't sell on a retail level whatsoever, but we have to pretend we're, Shelley Smith in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, right? And Shelley focuses on life insurance sales. Maybe she uses health insurance to get the door open. And when she's out there in the trenches, she needs to focus on what she does best, and that's selling, right? That's creating and building these relationships with the consumers and coming up with the best product solutions and, getting these people on a Zoom call or meeting them at the local Starbucks or doing seminars live, whatever it is. Okay. And then Shelley needs to make sure, in order to be successful and grow her business, that she has all of these marketing pieces kind of working on autopilot, right, in the background. And we all know this, okay? And we know, in order to be successful in 2025 and in the future, this marketing platform, right, and hopefully it's automated or somewhat automated, but this automated platform must be working well for you, because it's impossible for Shelley, the agent, to go out and touch all of her health insurance clients, her friends, her network, her life insurance clients, the referrals. It's literally impossible to keep her name in front of all of these people and create new relationships and then cross-sell and keep the old relationships in constant contact with her. Okay? It's literally impossible if she doesn't have these pieces working in conjunction, right? We know that. So Shelley, for example, must work with a third-party company, okay, in order to make all of this work together and grow in 25 and in the new year. And when you look at Shelley and all of the other almost 1 million agents out there in the country, right, you're getting bombarded with all of these solicitations, right? Hey, we have social media ads and we can sell you leads for $200 a lead, and we'll make sure somebody's on the phone that you can talk to. And this other company says, oh, we can help you with CRM and we only charge $99 a month. And you get all of this outside noise, and you're saying to yourself, like Shelley, scratching her head saying, oh my gosh, who can I trust? How do I know this is going to work? How do I know I'm not wasting my money? How do I know this person that wants to help me with marketing doesn't have a cousin, named Brian, right, who also is an insurance agent? And then how do I know the best leads aren't going to their cousin who's an insurance? You don't know, okay? You don't know. And to try to figure it all out, it'll number one, you'll drive yourself crazy. Number two, it will take years if you ever figure it out, because you probably won't. And you just wasted thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars trying to do that. So we, as an IMO, right, have to come in and say, you know what, Shelley and our other 24,000 agents, we have a couple of hand-picked, trusted carriers, companies, third-party marketing platforms that can help you, okay? And the best part, pricing, you get a co-op discount because you're riding the coattails of the other, say, 19,000 agents that are using the same platform, okay? So it's very, very, very important. And most of you don't have a team of 10 that's sitting there on social media, and they're watching you over your paid ads, and they're sending you all of the great leads that are already vetted. You don't have that luxury. Okay. We know that. And that's the reason why we wanted to have this training today. Okay. And I'm going to break it down in a very simple fashion because I know if we don't keep it simple, stupid, right? The old KISS method, then it's going to go over most of your heads and we're not going to figure this out. Okay. So that wouldn't do us any good because at the end of the day, I know when you go out there and sell and make money, we're making money, carriers make money. It's a win-win-win across the board. Most important, the client is being helped and you're supplementing your income with a new insurance sale. So I have to make sure that you have the best of the best, and that's what we're talking about today. Okay, when it comes to automated marketing and driving traffic with websites, and we're going to talk about paid ads and all the above. Okay, all right. Now, what we're going to do, I know I went on a little rant there, but this is very important to me because at the end of the day, we grew our business from a couple hundred agents to over 24,000 by utilizing and leveraging all of these great tools, platforms, and technology. So I know it works for a fact, but you have to make sure you're utilizing some of these platforms, okay, at the very minimum. So anyway, jumping in, what we're going to do today, this is unique, okay? It's more of a conversation today rather than a slide presentation. But what I want to do is we're going to keep this very uniform and have our giveaway at the end. So right before 3 p.m. Eastern, we're going to ask a question that has to do with our presentation. Whoever answers first and correctly wins the new Fire HD8 tablet, hopefully to write your first e-application or drop ticket on your new tablet. So you'll win the HD8 and IUL prospecting book in Mary Reed's prospecting book as well. So make sure you're on until the end. Okay, so let's jump in. You're going to learn a lot today. And by the way, I don't care if you're using PNC to open doors and then you're talking about life insurance or health insurance is opening the door and you're talking, whatever it is, okay, whatever hat you wear, great. I just want to make sure you have a good system and you're not being taken advantage of, or that maybe you're not using 90% of this stuff. And a lot of this is free, okay? So that wouldn't do anyone any justice. So let's move into the first slide here. What we're going to talk about is part of the industry that is on fire right now, and that is June. The month of June is Annuity Awareness Month. So you need to know enough to be dangerous, even if you've never sold an annuity before. So we have a complete 101 training platform. Okay, and then we have a certificate that you get once you've completed the course. Again, it's complimentary, and then we have an 8-week workshop that was hosted by one of the best annuity coaches, in my opinion, in the industry. It's all complimentary, okay? What I would do, if you want to jump in, make sure, obviously, you're appointed with us, and then we will share the dashboard. It's a 101 dashboard. We'll share it with you. It'll probably take you, I would say probably realistically, maybe a week to 2 weeks to get through everything, every part of it, and then you're technically a Levinson annuity sales professional, and you have a certificate to prove it. Okay, so you'll be off to the races, hopefully writing your first app, and then we're giving you $150 to $500 cash with your first annuity application with Levinson. Now, if you're a veteran, okay, you know everything when it comes to annuities. That's great. Okay, what I would do is I would pay attention and learn from that 8-week workshop, because I promise you, even if you know everything, you're going to walk away with nuggets from the workshop as well. Okay, so we have the 101 dashboard for the newbies, and then we have the workshop really for everybody. All right, what I want to focus on is left side. Look at that highlighted section in yellow. Okay, annuities surging to record levels. Total U.S. annuity sales were just over $113 billion in 24 and rising. Okay, in the first actually 1 quarter of 25. MIGA rates, FIA rates, products, riders. We even have guaranteed issue annuities, hybrids with LTC right now that are blowing up. So call Josh, RJ. We have a great team of 4 that can hold your hand and teach you about what's hot, what's not, and then some new sales strategies for 2025 as well, especially leveraging some of our marketing. on social media, on your website, and through e-blast. So you got to know enough to be dangerous. Run with this stuff, and we have all the tools to help you do exactly that. Okay, let's keep moving forward. What I want to do next, and by the way, when we're talking about marketing, and you're going to hear Danny, he's our coach, our pro, our guru, I like to call him, even though he won't say that, I'll say it. When we're talking about these different concepts, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're leading with life insurance, with IUL, with annuities, if you're leading with final expense, term, auto insurance, homeowners, right, health. Doesn't make a difference, right? Once you open the door and the client is ready to talk, you're off to the races, and the system did its job. So that's the name of the game today. Okay, that's what we're going to focus on. All right, so shifting gears, recent testimonials from George and Tamara. I love to see this stuff. Our team loves to see this stuff. We all work so hard, right, as a unit, as a family, and we're here a lot of nights till 7, 8, 9 p.m. weekend. We have 2, 3 people here on Sundays now. Okay, it's getting crazy. So when you share, okay, that's what moves the needle for us. That's what makes us so happy. And then typically we'll do maybe a lunch or two every other week, okay, to celebrate. But these are big wins. So please share on our Facebook, on our Google reviews page. And then we share that around the office when we get these. And it makes everyone's day. Okay. And also think about this. I want you to shift gears now. Look what I just did there. Okay. You should be doing the same thing with your clients, right? Let's say Bobby from Rhode Island just called you to say, Bill, wow, you just sold me the best term policy. That was the cheapest rate with an A-plus company I could find anywhere. You are the man, okay? What I would do, I would say, Bobby, do me a favor. Go on my Facebook page. Go on my Google reviews page. Share that message, okay? You want to say thank you to me? That's the ultimate way of saying thank you. And then what I'm going to do as Billy the agent, I'm going to take that review and I'm going to put it everywhere so other consumers and people in my network can see what a great job I did for Bobby. That's how you have to think in this new world, right? And if you're 23 and you're fresh out of college and you already know this stuff, great, okay? Because you're going to learn about some new stuff today too. But the point is the concept works and it's proven itself over and over again, okay? Let's keep moving forward. What I want to talk about next is why they're not like us, okay? And this is a big, big deal. And the reason why, in fact, I just recorded a 4-minute video that we're sending out on a national level to every agent in this country. It'll be out in the next week or two. And what it explains, and this isn't, all about Levinson and Associates and you got to work with us. No, it's about the top 5 things that you need to be aware of, right? And what I'm seeing now, especially right after COVID, I'm seeing more and more noise on social media. I'm seeing more and more quote unquote gurus, right? Life insurance gurus. Come work with me. We give you free leads. We give you top compensation. Next thing you know, you just signed a contract with some organization that doesn't even have a brick and mortar store or agency or anything. Okay, they're virtual. They're basically a call center. They have no idea about our industry. You're locked in for 2 years. You're at a 30% commission level, and you don't even know what side is up. Okay, you got to ask the right questions. You got to know enough to be dangerous. This is your career. It's serious. It's a big deal. I get calls and emails all the time. They're like, Bill, I can't get a release. I'm stuck here for 2, 3 years. I don't know what to do. I mean, it's crazy, the stories that I hear. Or, hey, I didn't know you get renewals on a IUL sale. Okay, my upline told me that there's no renewals paid in any life insurance. I mean, your head would spin if I told you what I hear. So it's time to pull the covers back. And that's what I'm doing here, is sharing the facts. And again, if you work with us with every company, great. If you work with us with one company and you're using 4 other IMOs, that's great too. But just make sure you are doing business the right way and the upline is being held accountable. Okay, that's number one. Let's keep moving forward. What I want to do next is talk about our incentive we're doing here in-house. Okay, we're based out of South Florida. Yes, we have a few remote employees now in 4 different states. Okay, but we are here in South Florida since 1972. Okay? Florida Panthers are back in the Stanley Cup Finals. Very simple. Ready for this? I hope you write this down or wait for the thank you email we send out tonight. But it's very easy. All you have to do is pick the team and the final score. Okay, so whoever wins the cup, you pick the winner and the final score. And then, as long as you wrote an application, life or annuity, okay, this month in June, you're eligible. And then we pick the winner. And then if you scroll to the bottom, that's the grand prize, just over $1,000 between orphan leads, Amazon gift card, prospecting books, and it's so easy. Pick the winner, pick the final score. All you have to do is write an app this month to be eligible. You are in. Okay? I think we already know, by the way, who's going to win, but I'll leave it up to you because I won't give you any teasers. So you got to pick the winning team and the final score, and you're in. All right, let's keep moving forward. What I want to do next is talk about new technology, so AI. And unless you live in a cave somewhere, okay, you've been hearing about AI, okay? If you've done a search on Google recently, you know what AI does. It is a game changer, folks. It literally is a game changer for anyone in sales and marketing, actually anyone in business in this, not just the U.S., like globally, in this world. You know what AI is, and AI will eventually, if not today, change your business for the better. Okay, I can promise you that. We're learning more and more about it every day now. Okay, and we are leveraging these 4 platforms that have AI built in. Number 1 is Billy the Bot. What is it? That is a robot on our website that Danny, who's with us today, actually built for us. And it is a AI-powered chatbot that sits on our website that saves you time. Time is money, right? So now go in, you can put in top indexed universal life, right? And it's going to show you who our top carriers and products are. So you don't have to spend 22 and a half minutes scrolling around our website through 28 pages. Okay? It's going to simplify your world. Snoozy, just under that. Now, I had some questions about, hey, Bill, I know you have Snoozy, and I know you also work with Danny and Apis. What's the difference? Okay? So I'll touch on that for a second. So Snoozy is think about this. This is and there's no bad or great third party company. I don't want to toot their horn. I don't want to say anything negative. It's a basic platform. It's going to cost you a lot less money. Okay, it's just a website. Okay, think about this. So basic website, social media management, and then if you want, Ken will do a one-on-one coaching call so you can run your own paid ads. He won't do it for you, but he'll do a recorded session, okay, a coaching call, hand that to you, email it, and then you can use that for reference to run your own paid ads. It's a great system. It's very inexpensive, okay, and I love it because you're getting a big discount, and it's a great way to get your name out, okay? Now, just under that, we have the Turbo Term by GTL product that uses AI in part of their underwriting. So it makes things a lot faster, instant decisions with GTL. And then just under that, we have Ringy. Ringy is also, I don't want you to confuse Snoozy, Ringy, and then Danny with Apis. Because Ringy, and just think about this for a second, and we use this, by the way, today with our agents, but think about, I use this analogy, you have this shelf, right? If you're in your office or third bedroom right now, look on the top left corner on your wall. There's a shelf up on the top, and that shelf has a bunch of leads, right? Just sitting there collecting dust over the last 28 years. Okay, what Ringy's going to do, it's going to go out and it's going to take all those leads off the shelf and send them a text message, an email, an automated call, and then it's going to hit them every week until they say, Billy, I'm ready to talk about life insurance. And then Billy, the agent, is going to get a text message saying, hey, Shirley Smith wants to talk Tuesday at 2 p.m. Do you accept the appointment? Yes, I do. Boom, you just made a new sale. And look what happened. You took one of these rusty old leads on this shelf, okay, collecting dust, and you turned it into a new sale. That's what Ringy does. It's like a CRM tool on steroids. That's it, okay? And they have AI built in. In fact, we have a webinar coming up on the 31st of July. So make sure you're on that webinar. You'll learn more, and you'll learn about the new AI integration and assistance that's recently built into the platform. So pretty cool stuff there as well. You also get a discount by working with Levinson, $49.99 a month, and a 2-week free trial. Okay, so take advantage of that. It's actually $49.99 the first 12 months. Okay, and then you get a 2-week free trial if you just want to kind of kick the tires a little bit. All right, let's keep moving forward. What I want to do next is talk about our featured presenter. So Danny, and I will toot his horn for a second. So what I want to say is Danny and his company, Apis, number one, they are 100%, not 90%, 100% focused on helping insurance agents, insurance agencies, right? Spread the word, okay? Handle all of their marketing, their website, their technology, all of the above. But what I love about him and this company is they're not working with automobile dealerships and shoe companies in the mall, okay? This is their bread and butter for the last, I believe, as long as us, over 25 years. They've been in business doing the same exact thing. So they're focused on this industry. And what I also want to say is we did a podcast together. We're going to send out in our thank you email. Definitely check that out. But I want to just start by introducing Danny, and then if he can just give the agents a 100-foot overview on the platforms and the tools available, that would be great. Danny.
Hi, Bill. Hi, everybody. Thanks. That was a sweet introduction. Yeah, Apis Productions, our company, has been in business over 20 years, servicing all the needs that we uncover in the industry, whether it's BGAs, IMOs, we have carrier clients, we have agent clients, and our marketing department has grown significantly in the last 5 years. It's quite a robust team of people and experts. And basically what we do is we've been helping people, agents and BGAs, focus their marketing and recruit, get more business, find more clients, and through paid ads on every platform, whether it's LinkedIn, X, Facebook, even Instagram. And we really make it all about the data. It's a very data-driven process. So our goal is always to get the cost per lead down as low as possible. We treat everybody's money as if it's our own. We don't like to waste any dollars. So we're really hyper-focused on cost when it comes to marketing today. And AI is changing the game all the time. And the platforms that you market on are utilizing it to great effect. And your marketers should also be leveraging it where it's appropriate. So yeah, that's kind of what we've been doing, just trying to get people more business and helping them be more successful.
Yep. So Danny, I just want to keep it very simple for the audience, but basically, if you think about, I'll talk to the agents for a second. If you think about like Insure Me Now Direct, okay, and you all know this, it's a free platform that we hand over to you, right? You get appointed with the 4 carriers, and now you have this beautiful website where the client can go quote, they can purchase the product, they get approved, everything's done A to Z, okay, just like Amazon. But now the $1 million question is, yeah, I have this free platform and Levinson's great and they have a great marketing team, but how do I drive traffic to my Insure Me Now Direct platform? So that's where Danny and his company comes in. So Danny, what would you say, like the best way? Right now, I think the paid ads is a big plus. Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Bill, your company is by far, and we've been with you for a long time, but there's a lot of mutual love here. It's because you've provided all the tools anybody would ever need, right, to succeed. It's incredible. It's just so generous, and we have a lot of clients, and I don't see other people providing what you provide. And I'm not, just saying that because you're having me on. I'm saying it because I've seen it. It's observational. And
Thanks.
I think that but one thing that we've learned as marketers over the years is it's not as simple as if you build it, they will come when it comes to leads and when it comes to prospects. You you have to build it for sure. You have to have a house for them to come to, and Insure Me Now Direct is that landing page. It is that house. But you got to stand up on the mountaintop and hold your lion cub up there and say, hey, I've got this. I've got these great opportunities. Your family needs protection. I can help. Come on in to this house. And that's really what marketing is about. It's about amplifying your offering to people who have the need. And the good news is, because of Insure Me Now Direct, any agent that works with you has this very well built platform that you can bring prospects to. And so the paid ads is the way to reach out, to extend your reach. You might be one agent, right? Or even a small agency, but nobody cares that you're only one agent. It doesn't matter how small or big you are. The great equalizer is the digital marketing space, because you can put up an ad on there, and State Farm can put an ad up there. I mean, it's like it's the same. The end user, the consumer, just sees your ad. So it's important to have a really, really compelling ads, and to really analyze the data and see which ads are working, which aren't. Doing, A/B testing, where you take you've got two ads. One's a video of a guy with a script you've given, or maybe of you, the agent themselves, talking about the importance of annuities. And the other is the same guy, same script, but wearing a different colored shirt. Because the detail, and this is kind of what APIS helps with, is like, these details matter to how many clicks you get on that ad, how many people make it to your Insure Me Now Direct landing site, and most importantly, how many convert. Do they call you? Do they fill out a form? Does the business end up landing? Was the lead a good lead? So that's really where we step in to help, is ad creation, follow through on the data and the analytics to really help drive down the cost of each lead. And a cost per lead, for people who don't know, is like, if you're spending, I don't know, $300 a month on ads, and you're getting, tens of thousands of impressions in front of consumers each day on the platform, when they click it, and a certain percentage of those people will click it, and of the people who click it, they'll go to your Insure Me Now Direct and take some sort of action. So getting them to your page, that's the lead. That's when they become a prospect. And so the question is, of that $300 a month, how many leads did you generate, and how much does each lead on average cost? And because you really want to drive that down. So that's what we help with a lot here at APIS with so many of our clients now.
Yeah, that's great. And so right now, and so the agents are aware, as far as a starting point. So there's a couple different ways that you can go about this. If you say, I really got to get started, I got to grow my business. So think of Insure Me Now Direct, right? But think of Insure Me Now Direct version 2, right?
Yeah.
And that's called the Pro version. So that's available. So basically, and Danny, stop me anytime, but
Sure.
think of a professional WordPress website that's your own. Think of like LevinsonandAssociates.com. That's a WordPress website that Danny and his team built. Okay, so you would have your own version. It's like Insure Me Now Direct on steroids. And then if you're selling health, P&C, they can tie in everything into like one home base. Okay, so they can build that out for you. Yep, and that starts at about 2,000, and then at least 100 a month for maintenance. Okay, that's it, if you want to go that route. And then Danny, if someone, let's just say that right now they want to keep the free version, which we give them, and
Yeah.
they want to start running some ads, and they want your expertise and management. So what minimum, if they're working in, say, South Florida or Southern California, whatever, what would you say they need to think in their mind? I need to start with what type of budget, like a monthly budget, if they want to
Well,
start
I would
running ads?
say,
And
yeah, if you want to run ads on most platforms, there's just for the ad spend alone, there are minimums. And obviously, when you start running ads, you don't just say, oh, this is going to be the best ad ever, and everyone's going to buy from me, and so I'm going to leverage a lot of capital on it. That's not the right approach. One of the things that we help with is we meet with you. Our team meets with you. It's usually myself. It's usually our creative director and marketer, Jason, and Peps, and we have about 8 people in our marketing department. And our goal is to first do kind of what we call a test budget. So you spend as little as you possibly can. Maybe it's $8 a day, right, on ads. So a little less than 300 a month, or even less. Some platforms don't have a minimum of 300 a month, so you can even go lower, just to see which ads are working, who are the winners and who are the losers. And when you find the winning ads, the heroes, then you allocate your budget just to that ad and save just a little test budget left over to test. So I would say typically what we see is 300 a month to run an ad, to run a series of ads. It's not just one ad, by the way. We would build you like 5 different ads, and the algorithms choose between them based on performance. So you can really kind of vary your offering. But and then our time, what we do is like every 2 days, we're getting the data from the ads, and we're making very agile and quick decisions in order to minimize your ad spend and maximize your return on your ad spend, or your ROI. So that's a process we do, and that typically takes us, we do it like each day. We look, we tweak. So that usually takes us, about 3 hours a week we spend on that. And that's our time. So I think your all-in cost, depending on how many ads you're running, depending on your ad spend, if it's a 300 ad spend with, 4 or 5 ads, and we're doing, 3 hours a week, and we discount for Bill's IMO. But typically you'll be looking at probably a neighborhood of around 700-800 a month all in. And that's with us managing the process and creating new creatives for you as needed. So that's about what you're looking at. And there's no long-term contracts with that either. I think the most important thing that you're getting is the strategy, because you don't just go out there and try to sell life insurance to everyone. You try to sell certain products to certain groups. You target your audience. I loved when you were talking earlier, Bill, about annuities, because you're right, they're super hot right now, and there's a number of market forces behind that. But what matters is, you want to target who is the audience. If you wanted to sell more annuities, who's the audience you're looking at? You're not trying to sell them to 30-year-olds. I mean, unless they just inherited a whole bunch of money, I suppose. But you're looking at a very targeted audience, individuals nearing retirement, ages 55 to 75, investors who are conservative, who are nervous about the market and want sort of they want to prioritize their capital preservation, instead of putting it in a high risk growth. People with large retirement savings, big 401ks that want to allocate funds to guarantee income or tax deferred growth income. These are very specific audiences that you would sell an annuity to. And the beauty about paid advertising on pretty much all of the platforms, whether it's Facebook or LinkedIn or what have you, is you can really dial in the specific audience you want those ads to be shown to. And the reason that matters is because if I'm licensed in California and a few other states, or if I'm licensed in Georgia, Alabama, South Carolina, North Carolina, and Florida, but not the other states, you don't want your ad spend being wasted showing it to people in Maine, or showing your ads to people in Washington State if you're not licensed there. So that's one way you narrow who the ad is shown to. But then you also don't want to be trying to sell annuities to a 25-year-old. So you can tell the platform, and we help with this strategy, to really dial in who's going to see this ad, because the people, in the case of annuities, 55 to 75, significant retirement savings, high earners looking for deferred growth. If you can dial in that audience, those are the people that are most likely to buy. And no matter what the product is, there's a specific audience for it. Even term. We've found with other agents and clients that we're advertising direct to consumer for term or for final expense, There's a real niche that works better. There's more buyers in certain age demographics and in certain parts of the country. So sometimes it'll be the case where we'll run an ad. It'll only be being shown in one state because we know that there are more buyers for that product in that state, and your return on your ad spend will be better. These are all things to consider. That's what we help with a lot. Those discovery meetings in the beginning when we're trying to, see who your audience is, where you've had success selling in the past, what products you like to sell or that you feel strong in selling once they do call you or meet with you. That information tells APIS where to focus and strategize your marketing dollars for the most effective reach.
Yeah, no, that's priceless. And think about this: you're an agent out there, and obviously this isn't for everyone. But if you're out there today and you're thinking, you know what, I'm seeing all these email blasts, and I'm hearing about a lead company on in my Facebook group or whatever it
Right.
is, right? We know 100. I'm 100% sure that 90% of those lead vendors, right, that I've heard about over the last 20 plus years, they're not going to work out. They might work out in the beginning,
Yeah.
okay, maybe for a month or two or three, and then they're going to fizzle out. It happens almost every time. And I
Yeah.
know for a fact, and you think about this, because if the lead company or the leads were that great, the owner of the company would go get their insurance license and they would be a billionaire, right? Why
Right.
would they not? I mean,
Right.
it's common sense. So if you can create your own leads by utilizing a system like what Danny has to offer, that's the name of the game. And think about this: a hot lead is going to cost you any. I've seen an annuity lead, an IUL lead, anywhere from $50 to $250 per lead. What Danny's saying is, for a minimum of 700, 800 a month, okay, they'll create your leads for you. That could result to $20 a lead, $10 a lead.
Absolutely.
Maybe.
Yes. And
Yeah,
that's the kind of numbers we see. For
yeah,
example, with term and final expense, we're getting it down to $8 a lead on ad spend. And, once everything's set up and running, it's a pretty smooth, like once you find the winners for the ads, that's several months where you really don't need to change. And as long as you or have someone like us, which is what we do, are constantly like sitting on top of those ads and their performance to make sure that the moment something changes or the moment the cost per lead is going up, we reach out and we say, hey, we're going to adjust this creative so that it's a higher performing. But case in point, we had gotten we'd gotten our kind of, I call them 2D ads, where it's just, images with words and stuff like that. We had gotten them down to about like $19 a lead for a term shop that we were helping out. And we weren't happy with that. I mean, it was good. It was below the industry average of 28 by on digital marketing by $8, but we thought, well, gosh, what if we used a video? Maybe we should do a video instead. So we had them just record themselves, and then we edited the video to make it, good for the digital ad. And all of a sudden, we got there. It doesn't cost more to do a video. You just read the script. We help write the script and everything. We know the industry. We're not like Samsung. Samsung makes refrigerators and toothbrushes and every kind of thing. They're a master of none and good at everything. Apis lives and breathes only in the life insurance space, and we have for over 20 years. We understand who buys these products. We understand who sells these products at every level of the chain, from distribution on up to the carrier. So I think that that's part of what we bring to the table is we know why and who buys what product you want to sell. And so that's really where we kind of shine. So we thought, well, let's have a video of an older gentleman uh, reading this, explaining to people his age why final expense is important, why long-term care insurance is important. And we saw the cost per lead go down from right around 20 to $9.50. So we halved it. And so we were like, that's great. And we started testing other videos. And so we do a lot of video work too, a lot of video ads too. It doesn't cost more to run a video ad than a two-dimensional ad. So it's really about having the ability to having the knowledge of the most current data every day of what's happening with your ad spend and the agility and ability to shift gears when you see that ad spend not returning for your client. Because, like I said, I always think it's like the Mr. Wonderful on Shark Tank for people who watch that show. Kevin O'Leary, he has this great line, and I agree with it so much. He says, "I don't want my investment dollars," and in this case, it would be your marketing investment dollars. He says, I treat my investment dollars like soldiers. I don't want them to go out and get kidnapped. I want them to go out and kidnap other dollars and bring them back. And that's how we view marketing budgets. It's like this marketing budget has to make you money. It has to make you more money than you're spending into it. Obviously, that's the goal. And sometimes that takes 4 weeks, but between the algorithms and it might take a month until you really find the winners. But once you do, you're getting really qualified, targeted leads that are reaching out to you, or that you can act on and reach out to. So we work with you in that sense. We also ask you, of those people you've been able to get in hard contact with on the phone or in a meeting, how many of them were you able to close? Because we need to know that data from you in order to ensure that the leads coming in were, people who were ready to buy. So it's a really interesting kind of dance between getting the lead to your doorstep, getting the lead to your phone, into your Calendly, into your meeting, and then finding out how'd that go. Were you able to close it? And that way we can come up with the ultimate cost per number, because there's cost per lead, but once it gets to you, we want to know cost per conversion. How many actually bought from you? Because that way we can really understand your customer acquisition cost. And there's all sorts of great things we can do with all of that data to help keep the business coming in.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And think about this, if I was an agent, most important, they're not an agency that's also selling to the same bucket of consumers. So that's a big deal. And they're not a lead company. They're not a lead vendor. Okay.
Right.
I mean, this is something that kind of came together by accident. And then, here we are today. So I don't know. I think the trust has to be number one when it comes to leads and marketing. And I think yeah. And I mean, between you, Puri, the team, that's proven itself over and over. And that's why we invited Danny on the webinar again. So for that reason. All right, let's talk about, just for a second, social media management. And I know,
Yes.
this all kind of ties together. You have your professional website, you have your paid ads running, and then you need to have your social media presence, right? Your pages that are up and running, right? People are going to look you up, especially if you're running these paid ads. So do you want to talk about that for a second? Just the social
Yeah.
media aspect?
Yeah, so social media, and it's, again, AI is changing this game a lot too, but it's changing it for the better, for as far as an agent would be concerned, in my opinion. It is important to have a social media presence. You can't have people looking you up. Maybe they see an ad of yours, they go to your Insure Me Now Direct website, or they go to your personal website, what have you. Sometimes it takes people a little while to make a decision to buy life insurance. I'm sure every one of your agents has experienced this. It doesn't always happen on the first contact, right? It takes several times for any consumer to make any decision. But life insurance is no different in that sense. You want avenues, and social media are these avenues, to be able to constantly approach your prospect. And so let's say you are really good at selling group insurance or life insurance to small businesses. Facebook is fine, but really LinkedIn would be your best route there, because that's where you can reach out to them directly. You can find them directly. You can post important information about the state of the industry, about the state of life insurance, about good new products that are coming out, and ways that, in the case of people who are good at selling to businesses, ways that life insurance can really protect a businesses. And you can just make little posts about the stuff you already know, but it's stuff that the business owner doesn't know. And so you keep that page alive. And when people are looking on LinkedIn about life insurance, your posts will come up, much like Google, which is changing a lot with AI, as we all know too. But much like search engine optimization, all of these social media sites, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, X, they all have algorithms that help lift your posts to the top based on what the consumer or the prospect is trying to learn more about. And I think that's very powerful because in addition to posts you can put on your own page, and you don't have to break yourself for it. Like, don't, a lot of people, they say, I'm going to post twice a day or every single day, right? And I'm just going to commit to doing that on 2 social media platforms, right? That's a big commitment. It's an easy thing to forget to do when you wake up or when you go to bed. My advice is always don't put too much pressure on yourself. I know that sounds counterintuitive to success, but what I've seen too many people do is it's like a diet in the New Year's. I'm going to go to the gym every day. What happens? 80% of Americans go to the gym every day for 2 weeks, or they get on a workout regimen for 2 weeks, and then it's too much. It's too much of a commitment. What I would say to you is make a reasonable commitment with yourself, or hire people to do it for you. If you want to go all out, by all means. I would never turn down that business, but I would say make it reasonable. Say, I'm going to make sure I get 3 posts a weekend, just 3 on one platform. Start easy, get yourself into a groove. And once you're in that groove, you'll almost be on autopilot. I would also say AI is your friend here. Some people get really scared. They look at a blank screen and a keyboard in front of them, and they don't know what they want to talk about. Well, utilize AI. There's so many great free AI tools out there right now, whether it's Grok on X or whether it's ChatGPT. Get some ideas. Say, I'm a life insurance agent. I really like to specialize in selling indexed universal or annuities or long-term care. Let it know what your specialties are and say, I want to create some compelling social posts, and see what it prints out. And then be the manager of that content and say, okay, I like this one, I like that one. And you can find some images. You can have it generate some nice, easy images for you, and go ahead and use those in your post. It doesn't have to be a huge burden on your time to maintain your social media presence. But then also use those same social media platforms to find your prospects. That's something we do all the time on LinkedIn, on Facebook. You can find the groups of people who you could be selling insurance to. They have groups. They talk to each other. They talk about their needs. If it's a small business group, you can find them in your area and you reach out directly. You can join the groups. There's so many avenues social media provides to get you in front of new business that, sometimes it just takes a little exploration to find that next client. And once you find that one next client in a group, they're going to refer you to all their friends. They're going to refer you to other people in that group. So I think people underutilize social media, and they don't
Yeah,
need to. We should be
I,
working with it.
I totally, I totally agree. And all of this stuff that we just went over, it all works hand in hand. It's like having your
Yeah,
McDonald's storefront. You need your drive-through. You need your beautiful entrance and your clean parking lot. And the big sign out front. All of it has to
yeah.
work together. And at the end of the day, that's what creates your business. And if you don't have time, because you want to make sure that you're on the phones all day and meeting these people face to face, and you're out there prospecting, you can have a third party company handling all of this in the background, just like Danny and Apis. Okay. And
Yep.
even if you wanted, yeah, and if you wanted to be, more on the budget of 59, $60 a month, and you want, for example, Snoozy to handle your social media management, then you would have like Danny and his team handle your paid ads, and let's say Insure Me Now Direct Pro or your full website, whatever it is. You can, whatever works best for you. If it's working, you're making new sales, building your business, that's a win at the end of the day.
I,
That's it.
I could not agree more. Yeah, it's
Right?
exactly it. Whatever your budget is, there's a solution for you. Sometimes people just need help with strategy, getting set up. I think, the first 5% of any endeavor is often the hardest thing. It's getting up and actually starting it. And I think the last 5% is the other hardest part. But once you're kind of up, or you at least have a plan forward of how you're going to market, and you could do it all yourself. But sometimes people just struggle coming up with a strategy. And I think you'll find that however you can get past that first 5% of that endeavor, of your marketing endeavor, however you can get there is worth it. Because once you're there, you can really, the sky is the limit. You'll move forward so much faster It's about having a comprehensive plan, really understanding who do you sell best to? What products do you enjoy selling the most? What motivates you as an agent? And then applying your marketing to that motivation.
Couldn't agree more. I have one last comment before I let you go. But before I even jump into that, Danny, do you have anything else before I dive into this last part that you want to share with the audience? Any other
Yeah,
tips or
I do want to
strategies? Anything else?
reiterate not to be afraid of AI. I hear a lot of people, agents, even BGAs, a little fearful of the future of AI. And I kind of view it like you may have heard this myth where when Columbus was landing in the Americas, the natives, having never seen large ships before, um, didn't see the ships until they were practically right on top of them. You know, they should have been able to see them for 3 days because they're out on the horizon. But because their brains couldn't really fathom what it was, they didn't really understand it until it was right on their shores. And I don't know if that's true, but it's been said many times. And I like the concept of it because I think that for a lot of people, uh, AI is that big ship on the horizon, and we don't quite know what to make of it, and we're a little fearful of it. And what I think is we need to get off the beach. We need to get on board that ship. We should embrace it. It's going to augment our careers, it's going to augment our lives, but don't be afraid to learn how to use it in all of your efforts because it will augment your career in a positive way. You'll either be able to make as much money as you're making now working less hours, or you can work the same hours and make a lot more money, have a lot more opportunity because it allows you to do so many things faster. So whether we like it or not, that ship is coming to our shore. And in my opinion, I would say get in the canoe and go out there and get on board that ship. Really embrace it because it's not going anywhere. And honestly, it is your competitive advantage. I just want to make that point because of all the stuff I hear talking to clients.
Absolutely. To say, think back if you've been in this business for a while with electronic applications, 15
Totally.
years ago. All the companies were scared of this, compliance, everyone was scared. They said it's never going to happen. They want a 42-page application that has to be paper and it's got to be
Right.
mailed or faxed. And look what happened. Today,
Yeah.
90% of the companies won't even accept a paper app. So it's the
Wow.
same, yeah, same thing.
You're right.
What I want to leave you all with, and I have, by the way, about 5 minutes of slides that I'm going to jump into to wrap up here. But I think the two big questions you need to ask yourself as an agent, and I would jot this down now, but this will help you tremendously with your strategy, so you know what direction you're going in. Is what is your niche going to be? Like, are you going to focus on everyone in the medical field, for example, right? And then you're going to take all of your marketing campaigns and strategies and focus in that direction. Maybe your website, will look like, it's kind of a place for doctors and RNs. It feels at home with the colors and the little syringe, logo that they have. If it's going to be maybe cigar users or people that use the marijuana prescription card, because you have products that will give those clients non-smoker rates. Okay, then you're going to obviously gear all your marketing towards people that smoke cigars and use the prescription cards, So figure out your niche. Number two is who can you network with, right? Is it an option to work with Aunt Barry, right, or Uncle Joey with his health insurance agency? So work something out with him, and then all of a sudden you're cross-selling. You're using his website, they're using yours. You have a link set up. But if it's a PNC agency, if it's a real estate company, because cousin Shelly, owns PE real estate, and now she's going to let you market to her database. So think of who you can network with and start reaching out to these people. So figure out your niche, figure out who you can work with, who's going to be open to that, right? Possibility, and then start working on these options. And then all of your marketing is geared towards that strategy, and you're off to the races. And then Danny and his team can help you take it from there. Okay, Danny, I want to thank you once again. You've been awesome on the webinars, podcast. We're going to also send out a thank you email, and we'll include the past episodes that we've done together because there's so much great information there. So I want to
I
thank you
appreciate it,
again.
Bill. Thank you.
Yep. And if you want to work with Danny, we have a form on our website. We can
Yep.
get you set up, make the intro, and we'll go from there. Okay.
Sounds
So
great. I wish you
we have
all the best.
thanks again. You're awesome. Let's we got just
Thank
a couple slides, and then we'll get everyone out of here on time or pretty close to on time, and we have our giveaway. Okay, so the co-op packages. So real quick, I mentioned we do have other options now. When it comes to that level of marketing and paid ads, they're the best. I'm going to tell you, bar none, that is the best option. Period. We also have an option where we can mirror our website. If you're more of a MGA, you have GAs and downlines under you. That's a great way to save a ton of money. On the right hand side, we have the Snoozy option. I love Snoozy as well because it's very inexpensive. It's more basic. Okay, you're not going to get Danny on a coaching call for 30 minutes, but it's also a lot less money. So that's a great option there, and then you can take advantage of the co-op discount pricing as well. Let's keep moving forward. So we have various website packages available. Again, Apis and Danny have the top and the best of the best, but it is gonna cost you. It's not complimentary. On the bottom right corner, okay, that is the pro version of what we just went over with Danny. Just above that, the website builder. I mean, that's $10 a month for hosting, and the site is free. And Show Me Now Direct is complimentary. And then again, the mirrored version of our website. If you're a real GA or MGA, that's a good option for you. In fact, there's nothing better available. Let's go to the next slide. This is our marketing resource guide library. Everything that you can dream of that you want to start to get out on your Facebook pages, any social media pages, ads, even constant contact, Ringy, all the above. Everything is here at your fingertips. Let's keep moving forward. By the way, we can co-brand a lot of that stuff for you as well, so you can get it out for free and get it out this afternoon with your picture, logo, phone number, everything. We have videos and flyers and e-blasts. Okay, this is more social media resources, social media tips. We do a tip of the month every single month to try to help you all get up to speed with what's going on, not just in our industry, but all industries around the globe. Okay, so this is your one-stop shop. Let's keep moving forward. Every single week, we handpick social media posts. Before I get into the posts, these are our various co-op lead programs where if you don't want to run your own ads, like what Danny mentioned, which I think is the best thing to do, we do that. Just to give you an example, for agents, okay? A lot of you found us through those ads. You should be doing the same thing. But if you don't want to take that step, no problem. We have other packages available for you on the annuity side, final expense, term, all the above. Okay, and they're all co-op discounted rates. So I mentioned earlier, every single week we handpick our own social media posts for you to learn from, right? What is performing great out there for the week? So remember what Danny mentioned, that you should be on social media looking to see what others are doing, looking for your next prospect or group. Okay, he's right. You can go into the search bar and search pretty much everything. In fact, a lot of this is AI assisted. But here's what's so interesting. These two posts in front of you created over 100 likes and over 20 comments and over 60 shares. What does that do for you? It gets your brand, your logo, your picture out there to the masses, right? And look at these two posts. Is this rocket science? No. You should be doing the same thing, right? You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Change a few spokes. As I always say, it's already done for you. Success leaves clues. We know that by now. But you got to put in some of the work and time. Okay? You get the point. Let's keep moving. I'm almost done. Third slide, and then we'll put a bow on this. Okay, this is our podcast episode 49, where I sat down with Danny for an hour. I encourage you to check that one out. And then Ian is on the right side, number 57. Ian is great because he uses a lot of these tools in Ringy. He's a big believer in, but you can learn from him for an hour where I put my agent hat on. Let's keep moving forward. What I want to do next is talk about our newsletter. So every other week, you're going to get our life and annuity newsletter updates, what's hot, what's not, latest stats, everything you need to know about the industry. Just check out the newsletter. If it's not in your inbox every other week, there's a problem. Let us know. That means we have your wrong email address. Okay, second to last slide is our menu. So this is our weekly webinar training menu. Okay, Now, we are literally booked up for the next few months. But what I encourage you to do is we're going to include this in the thank you email. Just check it out and make sure you register for whatever you're interested in. But we have some great trainings coming up in the next 1 to 2 months here in front of you. All right, my last slide, and then we'll put a bow on this. I want to ask my question of the day. But first, I'm going to move over to the left-hand side. This is our Positive Tuesday quote of the week. And by the way, what does this mean? Absolutely nothing. It's just a way to keep our name, our logo, our image out there in front of our agents, right? You should be doing the same thing, but for your clients, for your network, for your prospects, for your policy holders to cross-sell, okay? And this is just an example. You don't have to listen to what I say. Watch what we do. Watch what we do, okay? We built this company from 300 agents to over 24,000. It's for a reason. Yes, customer service has to be number one, right? Everything else has to be great, of course. But the social media marketing is what made the biggest difference for traction. So I know you can do it on the consumer side. Your decisions will help you start. Your discipline will help you finish. Decide, commit, and succeed. My question of the day, make sure your little fingers are on the keyboard. You got to be quick. You got to be accurate. You got to be first. What was the name of the CRM tool that I discussed that we use currently for agents? Okay, what was the name of it? And there's a co-op discounted monthly rate. So you need to tell me the name of the platform and what is the monthly rate that Levinson agents get. Okay, it's a monthly rate, it's a discount, and then the name of the platform. Okay, 2 answers. Andrew's going to tell us who was first and who was correct. Andrew?
Yes, we have Doug C. Doug C.
Doug C. Congrats. The name is Ringy, the Ringy CRM platform, and the price, $49.99 a month is the discounted 6-month rate. Plus, you get a 2-week free trial, and that's on us, complimentary, no contracts, no nothing. So with that said, if you want to sit down with Danny, have the coaching call, let us know. If you want to talk about any of the other platforms, you want to pick our brain a little bit, no problem. Reach out to anyone on our marketing team or reach out to me directly. I'll put you in the right direction and we'll go from there. But just remember, you succeed, we succeed, right? It's a win-win across the board. Have a great day, and I hope you walked away with some great nuggets, great selling, and thank you again, everyone.